What's up, guys? Troy from ATXRC Addicts here. Going to be talking about the 3DR Solo, new release that's going to be coming up in the next month or so from 3DR Robotics or 3D Robotics. 3D Robotics has offices everywhere. They have They have an office actually here in Austin, Texas, which is where I'm at. I happened across a tweet on my my Twitter feed, with a picture that I recognize as being the shores of the river at 360 The Bridge here in Austin that I fly from. I assumed that it was on the other side where 3DR's building is or offices are, which they do some testing and they do all their PR out of, I believe. It's where Colin and them guys are out of here in Austin. So, anyways, I had Ike on me. I had actually was getting off, 2:30, 3 o'clock. Decided to take Ike with me and go see if I could catch a flight over there and go, whatever. I don't really fly to the other side except for under the bridge, so it's not like I was going to go spy on him or anything. I was just going to go see what I could see. Anyways, so pulled up at the public boat dock on the opposite side, and there it is, the 3DR setup. It was somewhat, I guess, open to the public. It was actually the global summit for international dealers to come take a look at the Solo prototypes and to get hands-on experience with them before the rollout coming up in the next month. Walked up, kind of asked around. I was like, hey, is it all right if I come in? One of the dealers was like, yeah, sure, come on. I didn't know he was a dealer at the time, and he had a 3DR hat on, though, and I started chatting with him, told him who I was. He said, yeah, blah, blah. Great guy. He's actually going to be in the videos and a couple of the pictures. Him and his wife were down from Canada. I forget his name, and I apologize for that. I spent a lot of time talking with Ross Vader, one of the interns, actually. He was really cool, man. He gave me a lot of good information about it. I didn't really ask too much. I didn't ask release dates, guys. I'm not trying to get kicked out as soon as I got in. I didn't ask to fly it, though. I feel like I might have, could have. But there were dealers there doing their thing. That's what I respected. That's what they were there for. Had I been given an opportunity, it would have been great. But no big deal. I saw it fly. It looked really, really great. Colin was out on the river doing, some wakeboarding, doing some stunts, trying to catch some footage. But when I was actually there, which this thing was tailing off at the end of after a couple of hours, the GoPro, I guess, didn't have an SD card in it at the time, so they were just really flying it to fly it. They were using it as the visual orientation on the picture, though, so they didn't need an SD card. So they were flying. The dealers were. I got some video of the dealer flying. One of the dealers. I got some other videos, some other people flying it. I got some pictures that I'll show. I want to first just talk about it in general. This 3DR Solo unit is, and by the way, all of this stuff is just my stuff. It's not a 3DR unit. This is not a Solo. This is the Mini Disco mic. So the 3D Robotics Solo has been billed as the smart drone, or the smartest smart drone out there, or the first smart drone, I'm sorry, out there. It's got 2 processor cores. It's one on board of the radio, one on board of the quad. It's got a whole other list of features. I don't want to go through all of it, but the biggest thing that I will talk about is the expansion bay, or payload bay. You could use it for all kinds of stuff. You could develop your own things. Other people will be developing things. I'm sure 3DR will. We already know that they're going to be having the sonar and optical sensors and stuff, as well as maybe thermal imaging by a picture that I'll show right now. Found online. It's from NAB, I believe, showing some of the stuff they expect. Parachute, stuff like that. This thing is, it's stretched out a little bit. It's not, a standard configuration of an X or anything. It's a little bit more of an H. It's a nice size platform. It really looks really nice. In the air, it's stable looking. It's a little louder than I expected, but my stuff's all kind of loud too, and it's to be expected. Um, the props look great. The gimbal, oh, it's so amazing, guys. It is. I ain't gonna lie. I haven't got a hands on with it, but it looks great. I saw the operation of the quick release and everything. It's a simplistic, the smart design, just like everything else on the unit. And it's just, I don't even know. It has like a rubberized strap at the back that also has all the cables, I believe, in it. And I know it does. Um, that strap has like a quick release aluminum tab, I believe, somewhere that kind of covers it and keeps it in place. When you release it, you can actually pull off the end of the GoPro, so the whole thing sticks onto the GoPro and plugs all the plugs in. You pull that off, and that actually is now, like I said, kind of like a strap across the back. You can slide the GoPro right out. So it's like a quick release tab and a pull of the rubber off and the cables, and they all come out. Just smart. It's so well designed. It's simplistic. It's minimalistic. I think it's worth the money, and I wouldn't say that about anything over about $200 when it comes to gimbals, to be honest. I've never used a Zen Moose, but I'm sorry, the price, I just couldn't. But this thing, I guess, makes me reconsider that. So the gimbal is great. The legs on it, the clearance on the gimbal is not great. I'm hoping they're going to fix that. I think they do something. If you're listening 3DR, make those rubber things be able to go up and down by a half inch and kind of lock into place. I think that's an easy fix, hopefully, that we could get. There's antennas and compass running in all of the legs. So they're like ribbon PCB board almost. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like flexible PCB. It's like, like ribbon. I understand that two of them, I believe, are definitely antennas. I think one's a compass, and if there is a fourth, I don't know what it is. I would assume it's one of the other antennas. The radio, it's nice and clean, guys. It's simple looking. But it's also got a little monitor for battery life, RSIs, I believe, and some other info. It's also, got the holder for the mini tab or whatever you want to use, smartphone, Android tab, whatever. The thing is great. They were using the feature on the screen on the mini iPad to not only adjust performance, but change it into different modes you could do. You could do all kinds of stuff with the on screen. I believe there's also stuff that you don't have to use the screen for that you could do on the radio to do the same features. But it was just awesome to be able to see the features that it has, much more than we had probably even expected to, or at least I did. Being able to just tune each mode. You can tune each mode performance-wise, kind of like you can a car. I mean, I guess you can on minis and some other flight controllers, but right there on screen, you'll actually hear in the video here in a minute, or maybe right now, where the dealer is going to be. This is the dealer I was speaking with, by the way. He's going to be flying it. He wants to fly it like a 250, is what he says. And I don't know if it's in the video or not, but he says, I want it in manual mode. And the guy starts upping the performances, and he's like, no, that's better, and we can visually see the differences. He's like, but is it in manual mode? And he's like, no, and I don't know if the guy just didn't want to put it in manual mode for, he didn't really truly believe he could fly it, but. He eventually is like, oh, you want manual mode? And he goes through and he goes, here you go, and he goes to manual mode. That thing was super reactive in manual mode. It was great. It was definitely tuned down when they were just test flying. But in manual mode, you can see that the performance is there. It's speedy, it's quick, it's nimble. Yeah, it was just a nice looking unit, guys. It was a little louder than I expected, but I'm not worried about that. It was awesome. Here's some more pictures of some stuff that I saw. The batteries are smart batteries. Hour and a half to charge is what they say. I saw battery life pretty great. When I pulled up on this place, they said, I heard somebody say about 70% battery life. About 10 minutes later, they landed and took back off when the dealer did. And he said, no, we're good. We're at about 53%. We just need to look at it between 30 and 40. So, wow. The thing was flying for at least 20 to 25 minutes, probably, at least, while I was there. And that was from like 75% or 73%, somewhere in there when I walked up. Supposedly. I don't know. That was with the gimbal too. The gimbal, just so you know, they were using a 3 Plus, so they actually did have the little counterweights that people have seen on. They had one or two, I think, on the end of the gimbal. That's obviously to balance out the different models of GoPros and if you take the battery out or not. Um, Besides that, I just want to say, price point. I think when people compare this to the Phantom, we're just comparing two different units, guys. They're not the same. Yes, they have 3-axis gimbals. Yes, they're out the box, flyable. The Phantom has now become, and this is, or not this, I'm sorry, this isn't a Solo. The Solo is going to make the Phantom a class of its own, and the class is going to be a step below. That, not in quality necessarily. Look, I have DJI NASs that I run in Ike. It's going to be getting a pig talk too, though. I think I'm the type of guy, I like all my flight controllers the same, and yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and when I can get my hands on a pig talk as soon as I can. I would love to get my hands on one. I think Ike's gonna go that way too. Not because DJI is bad. I don't know. It's just not for me. The Phantom, I think, is much more geared for commercialism or merchandising it to retailing it to consumers. Um, the 3DR, I think, though it will be out the box flyable and it'll be at big box stores like Best Buy and stuff. Again, plenty of other people will buy it and be able to use it. But this thing is built for guys like me and guys like us that have some already experience, and I'd say a good mediocre amount of experience at least should be had to really, if you're going to spend the money on this. Guy that's going to buy this has a GoPro already, so price point, I'd say if you're okay with using your GoPro and all that, that gimbal, it's fine, dude. You're great. I mean, yes, I'd like to see it a couple $100 less, 12, 30, yeah, whatever. That'd be great. But if it provides and does all that it does and is gonna last the distance that it lasts with being able to change out the motor pod, stuff like that. Man, there's a multitude of stuff. I've already thought about, could we print spacers already to stretch those arms out maybe? I can't wait to see how those arms attach, those pods, to be able to figure out what we can do with this thing. All the open source programming and all the payloads that, and bathe and everything that we can utilize in different ways and people will. This thing is really meant for some experienced people to get their hands on it and become a one-man crew, though you don't have to be. People like me that I want to capture stuff that I'm doing. I want to capture myself driving my other RC on the ground and stuff like that. Make more, get back into the crawler videos and what I originally wanted my quad for, which was to help film those videos to where I could get ground and aerial footage of the crawlers crawling and the bashing, the RCs, which I instead have fallen in love with just flying these things and it's taken over. But the Solo, man, provides that. Somebody like me that has a little bit of mediocre editing skills and is a moderate average pilot, still new, but I'm getting better every flight. I have a brain and I use it. The Solo is going to be perfect for me and people like that. Phantom P3, I'm sure it's going to be great. It's got a really nice camera on it. It's it's a DJI. It is what it is. But yeah, Solo for me. That's what I want. How I'm going to get my hands on it 100%, I don't know. But I'm going to get my hands on one. You're going to see a lot more of the Solo guys. You're going to see a lot more of me filming with it. And hopefully it takes me to a whole nother level. Again, I just want to say it was awesome to be able to go walk in and be able to see this thing the way I did. Here's some more pictures probably coming up. I really appreciate you guys, watching, hearing my opinion on it. I'm going to put up the last couple of videos too here in a second after I finish. And I want to say thanks to Ross Vader, man. He was just great in helping provide some information. We just talked about stuff. He explained kind of, how 3DR went through the process of just, coming up with certain things and aspects of it. Talked a lot about how, they really like pilot feedback and stuff like that. Just a really good dude, man. And I know he's just an intern, but he's going to be doing big things hopefully there soon. Thank you. And thanks to everybody else. I didn't really get to meet Colin. He was actually wakeboarding. The other guys there, I forget. I'm sorry. The other guy from 3DR that was actually flying and just helping people fly. You were great answering some questions too, and I really appreciated it. Um, can't wait, man. I'm actually there. The weather's not great, but they might be out there again today because this thing's supposed to be going all week, and I'm off. So I'm gonna put up the last videos and pics, and I hope you guys enjoy what's gonna be coming from me with the solo, man. Take a look at it. It's really, really gonna be a fun little thing to have, and I'll see you guys later, man. ATXRC addicts, get something, fly it, bash it, crash it, put some more cash in it, share it. Have fun, guys.
Let me get you back on the screen and let's get ready to go.